All right. Well, it's kind of a cool day out there. It's a Tuesday. We have a new president installed. He's busy working. Looks like he's working on the border, working on our oil fields. There's much he isn't touching. It's all going at the same time. Ed, hold on. Uh, you know, I wish I had done a little more research the other day before I put my video up yesterday. Man, I was surprised at how many people, or what people have said out there. Some think I have dementia. I assure you I don't. And as a matter of fact, my doctor would give you a clean bill of health any time. I'm one of those few people. I check stock market daily. I know what the CDs are paying, or savings accounts. Savings accounts are jokes, but the money market, what homes are going for in what areas, what to expect. I look at a lot of stuff so I can keep mentally active. And it doesn't take much for me to just keep right on and going and talking about something. And I can do it for all day if I had to. Not that means you're smart, but by keeping your mind mentally active, it keeps you from daydreaming. And once you get into daydreaming on a daily basis, then it's the old adage: if you don't use it, you lose it, and that can happen. And you can start suffering from senility. No, I'm sorry to say, all of you that would like to see me fade away and my mental abilities go away, I'm not ready for that yet, not quite. My wife and I, we still, we don't hire anybody to do our yard. We do it ourselves. There's a half acre here. It keeps us physically active. And our pup, we take him out, probably every hour on the hour during the waking hours. It keeps us exercising to a certain extent. My back deck has half a dozen steps down and half a dozen steps back up. We know we can climb the stairs. It's a split foyer. So when we go somewhere, we have to go down about, 12, 13 steps. When we get to the basement, actually it's not a basement because it's up out of the ground, but you know what I'm saying. It's half in the ground, half out. Split foyer, if you know what it is. And the garage is underneath it, and we get in our car, we go where we're going, come back, and back up them steps. So physically, we're still active. And we buy our own groceries, and I can count change quicker than the clerk can. So I think I'm okay there. The average person wouldn't know as much or where the stock's set as what I do, because I spend a lot of time looking at it. I want to know what's going on. My income, even though I don't have a paycheck that I work for somebody else, my income, to a certain extent, depends on dividends from stock. I have a small pension that I earned years ago, and just let it sit there and cook. And of course, Social Security. I have a 401 rollover that I've never touched it. Well, I take that back. Uncle Sam has made me take some money out of it for the last 10 years, a percentage. And even though I take it out, it always comes back more than what the point of where I took it out. And if things were rolling right, I should have doubled it since I retired, but I didn't. Actually, it should have more than doubled. It was flat as far as through the Obama years. I made a good dollar amount when Trump was in. I lost when Biden was in. I didn't lose stock. I lost what it was worth. I know it don't make sense to you, but some of you will understand what I'm talking about, I guess. But when you retire, you look at buying power as well, which means you're checking the inflation on a regular basis. And of course, I know you don't have to be an intelligent person, because the grocery store gives you a good insight as to what inflation is. And if you think back 4 years ago, Let me think now. Can you think back 4 years? Because it's a good test. Yeah, the dementia thing. Yeah, yeah, I feel bad a little bit for people that do have dementia, but in real terms, a lot of those people probably are happy. They're not happy while it's happening, but when you get to the end of the road, the oblivion, we don't know what's going on. It could be that the memories they had years ago, they're still reliving. I don't know. Maybe some of the psychiatrists can guess at it. But then the day steps where they walk into eternal life if they had a good life, Christian life, before they got there. So they've got something to look forward to, and it's a very short period of time. So you don't have to feel sorry for them. I know when people say that I'm feeble-minded or accuse me of having dementia, they really don't know what they're talking about, and either that or they're just mean-spirited and they want to make me feel bad. I feel for them because I don't feel that way about them. You know, I want everybody to have as good a time as they can on this here earth. I don't I don't wish anybody to have a rotten life. That's not me. And I feel bad for you if you feel that way about me, though. I mean, that's just nasty thinking. You know, it must suck to be you to feel that way about other people. That, you know, if you spend your life hating and throwing rocks and stuff, it takes away from your life. It really does. And somebody the other day, said, I'd made a remark about somebody on there, not real bad, but a remark. And they said, well, that person's in your head. And I said, that might be. If he is, I'll have to work on it. And, you know, that happens. Years ago, if I got mad at somebody, I was mad till we got it settled. And, you know, it can be a lifetime of that. It can hurt you physically. And mentally, it can make you a very down person and mean-spirited. And I try not to be mean-spirited. Matter of fact, I'd rather joke around. But, you know, when you get up here in age like this and you have dementia, you forget the punchline, right? Am I right? But what happens when you forget the whole joke? What do they call that? Do they still call that dementia? I don't remember what they call that. Maybe I've got dementia. Maybe not. What do you think? If you do have it, and I'm not trying to make a joke out of it for you, believe me, every step of our life, at least every step in my life so far, has been an advancement. It's not going backwards. And I kid around a bit about when you get older, you become a child again. But it's the lack of responsibility when you get older where you're not having to worry. You just walk into it and enjoy it. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, how bad is it for you when you're thinking, oh, gee whiz, next week I got to buy a new laptop for one of your kids. And you're thinking, if I buy one for him, the other two are going to want new laptops too. Or the phone, or how many lines you bought for the phone for one of your kids, and now you're going to have to spend it for the rest of them. And you're thinking, oh, boy, I'm going to have to work some overtime next week. And or if your babysitter quit, and now you got to figure out who you're going to get to watch the kids. When you're old, when you get old, those things go away because you don't have to do it anymore. Well, there are some exceptions. My neighbor, he's the same age as my oldest son, and he's raising one of his grandchildren. Now, when I look at him, I'm thinking, oh boy, that'd be a tough job. But that kid is the life of the party. He's outgoing, talkative. His eyes are just bright and shiny. He bounces. When he first started to move around, he didn't walk. He ran. And he still does. Neither one of them can keep up with him. He can outrun either one of them. And they love him. Oh, man. And he loves them. I mean, they are the apple of his eye, and he's the apple of their eye. And it is a pleasure to see something like that. And I know what it's done. It's taken them from being in their 60s back into being in their 30s or 40s. And you can see it in their eyes. I mean, they just, they love that kid that much. And I can see why, because he's such good company. Loving, just a loving kid. But that shows you what can happen through attitudes and what you're faced with. And they themselves, they're people, they think of everybody, I mean, they're sharing type people. And sometimes when I look out there and I see the people that come on here, they don't want to share anything except bad feelings. That's not good. If you can think of something really nice to think about or to say about somebody, do that first. And do it last. The impression is going to stick is what the last impression they have of you, the last meeting. So always make sure you say something good before you leave, and things will work out real well. I've got people who come in here and they say, Ray, I can't believe you did all that. They're talking about maybe something I said that was mean-spirited. And you're in the wrong, but before the whole thing's over, it's, we like you anyway, so see you next time. It leaves some kind of a positive at the end. And people that have grown up around other people that were happy, have a happy life, they know the best thing to do is just leave something little morsel that is a positive morsel before they leave. That's all. Not a big deal. Oh, Lord. Even those that I get mad at sometimes, there's times where they've been good-spirited. But there's other people that do the opposite. If they're doing something for you, there's a string attached, and they're going to jerk that string back at the appropriate time. And it's either to make you feel bad, or just for a control period. There are a lot of controlling people out there. And if you have a good head on your shoulders, you can tell the difference and you don't buy into it. That's all. Once you've bought into it, your soul belongs to them. It's almost like the devil buying souls out there. And the devil's good about doing that. Shows you a good side, and once you're hooked, it's a contract, buddy. It lasts you a lifetime. I can't think of much else to say. I think I about wore it out. I do see it, I think it's 3 o'clock today, in case you guys don't know. Lisa is going to be on live. She don't get on there too often in the afternoon, so I'm assuming it's going to be a good one. I'm going to listen, and I want to make sure that I don't get mixed up in getting in there in her way of doing her thing. I think it's 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, but if it's her time, 3 o'clock, then it'll be 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I'm going to make sure I get off pretty quick and get this thing loaded up. But like I say, check to make sure that if you're watching in the middle of this, go ahead and hit the stop button on it, go over to listen to Two Leaves in the Pod. I'm sure it's important, and I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure it's going to be true, whatever it is. And at 6, I think Super Dave is going to have a live on there. He was going to have it this morning, and I don't think it happened because he left a note on there, I think. I haven't looked at it for the last hour, but for 6 o'clock this evening. So, and I'm pretty sure that one's for Central Standard Time. He said he's in the Milwaukee area, and that's Central Standard. And we haven't heard from him for a week, so he ought to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to get out there on the airways. And yeah, we'll just see, right? Yeah, let's see if there's any other important news. Jeremy still goes by that place taking pictures over there at John and Michelle's. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a silly thing. He posted a picture, and you can see a picture. It looked like John is turned the other direction, and this picture's of him from the back. And it looks like he's got his hands behind his back. Now, according to Jeremy, he's giving him the finger, double fingers, I think he called it. I didn't look at it close enough to see if it was, but I'm thinking, why in the hell are you taking a picture of somebody that's got their back turned to you? I know he has an obsession with, that last time, the last video that they had where the two of them were me, he seemed to have an obsession with John, and he must still, because he's looking. He says he's looking at his fingers, but I don't know if he's looking at his fingers or his butt or what. The guy's got his back to him. I don't even understand. And clear across the yard, or at least it seems that way. And then he's turning them in for breaking the PO because he says they're giving him the finger. I've never heard of anything ever like that. You think I've got dementia? If you want to see the real thing, go over there and watch and see what happened. Taking a picture of somebody's butt with two fingers sticking up, and I don't see it that way, but they got their back to you. They had to take a picture over the fence. Oh, Lord. What are they going to think of next? Talk about dumb. Oh, boy. That is, I heard this name last week, about being a peeper creeper or Jeepers Creepers or something. Peeper creeper. So fitting. Well, with that, listen, I hope you can laugh about it, because it can't be that serious to take pictures of somebody's butt when they got two fingers sticking up in the air or something. Now, I don't see the two fingers sticking up in the air. It probably is. I didn't look at the picture long enough. When I see it, I started laughing. Why would you? And you could tell that it was a long distance because the picture's fuzzy. But it had to have been taken somewhere from the other side of the fence, clear across the yard. And he turns him in for breaking the PO, the protection order. He's in his own yard on the other side, and apparently the germ is driving by. The only thing he needs protection is from himself. If you're driving on the wrong side of the road and you're taking pictures, you got one hand off the steering wheel. What in the world is somebody? And I'm the one that's got dementia. All right. Tell me what you think. Listen, fill the comments up if you want. Hit the thumbs up for a change. So my humor's already cost me 1/3 of the subs that were on here. The ones that I got from Larry Foreman have already went home. And the ones that were hanger-oners from Jeremy, they went in the first salvo. They were the first 1,000 that left. And I'm not disparaging Larry Foreman in any way. Neither one of us, I don't think, have ever thrown barbs back and forth at each other, and I don't intend to start now. He helped get me kick-started, and he never, as far as I know, he's never said a word back, that was negative or derogatory, and I thank him for that. He's got the good sense to be a good person. So with that, I'm going to let you go and go ahead and fill me up with content. If you're thumbs up, and sub to the channel if you feel like you want to come back and get notifications. We can have a good time. And if you have something you want to talk about, I'll research it and we'll come back and we'll have some good old times there. And I had one of my subs sent me some songs, and as long as they don't have a problem with it, I'm going to take them and post them on here. I think I'll do them one at a time so that people can really listen to them. Sometimes when you post a half a dozen, they don't listen to the entire song or whatever, but very well written, very absolutely great. And I'm going to try to figure out how I can, what I thought I'd do is write the words down and then play some music with them. And then I'm going to try to sing them at a later time. And we'll see. I'm going to experiment with it a little bit. It's going to take me some time. What I use for singing is over there. And I've had it tore apart the last 2 years. I haven't done much on it. And what little I do on here is for another channel that, and that's not quality. You know, it's practice is all it is. So I'll let you go, and we'll talk later. And don't forget, Lisa at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Central Standard, I believe. And at 6 o'clock, we're going to have Super Dave is going to be on there. And I don't know about anybody else. Oh, by the way, shout out to PBS, or PBR, I mean. Forgive me. PBR, I did stop by your channel. I didn't do anything in the chat. I know you were pretty busy on your deal out there. But I think of you, and I hope you're doing okay. I know your brother passed away not too long ago. And you haven't been on as much as normal on here. But I hope you get back to your old self and you're up and running. You and me took a beating on our last analogy of one of the channels, so hope it didn't bug you too much. I'm still, I still love your channel, PBR, so there you go. I'll see you later, and yeah, and Lisa, I'll see you this afternoon, and Super Dave, get back on the channel so we can enjoy some of that Super Dave. With that, as John would say, ta-ta.